always be nice to your neighbors. Whoops, that was a lot harder than it had to be. That would kind of suck if I fell from here. So I'm not sure if I want to show everybody this. Oh shit. So Home Depot did me dirty and they left my rebar order out here on the street. I got to get this all the way down the hill without scuffing up my driveway, dragging it, and my tractor isn't able to carry this. So luckily my neighbor says that he'll come over with his forklift and help me get it at least down to the gravel to where then I can drag it all the way down the hill. So thank goodness. That's why you're nice to your neighbors and friendly with everybody, is situations like this, you get some help. Here comes my neighbor, the rebar coming in clutch. Oh, good guy. My tractor definitely couldn't do that. We got rebar. We now have our rebar down here. So we're gonna use the tractor, get that up the hill. Always be nice to your neighbors. You never know when you're in need, and they just made my day a whole lot easier. So thank you, Jim. Let's see if we can do it today. Whoa, gotta watch where I'm going. We're hauling all the rebar down. My tractor can't lift it, but it can drag it. That's how I'm bringing down all the wood. It's easier than doing the tractor, actually. This is my favorite way to unload the wood from the quad. Oops, wait, that's not how I meant that to go. Like that. Now that's easy. Before I get my rebar all over the arch here, I need to frame up this side for my ring of concrete, and I already put a little bit of rebar here around that's gonna really solidify this arch and hold itself together, rather than it putting all the weight and load into the walls. I don't want the load going sideways on these walls. I want the load going straight down through the wall. I'm gonna go ahead and hammer in some nails and kind of make myself a little ledge to put this 2-inch by 12-inch board across. So I did the other side and I learned that these will not work for me. It's not high enough. So basically I'm using screws now with a piece of wood, and I need a little riser and it works better. You want a little bit of concrete in there, but not too much. That one didn't even stick. Oh, well, that wasn't good. Kind of embarrassing. Let's find a different spot. Maybe test it. Yeah, that'll do it. There she is. Now that's strong, I hope. I know this looks a little funny, but if you've ever put up long pieces of lumber by yourself, you really wish you had someone else on the other end holding it up so you can screw it in at least. So this isn't meant to hold all this together. It's just meant for me to be able to get this up there, close in the back, then I can kind of secure it all together and I won't be worried about it going anywhere. Well, that didn't go according to plan. I was trying to get this guy in here and it just completely fell off. So that's unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? So I'm gonna retry. But I have 3 sides on, at least up, so then I can secure them actually better so they can hold concrete, but that's a bummer. have one more adjustment on the other side, then I could really secure this into the actual frame. This was just for me being alone, trying to get this up to where I can now work with it and make some adjustments. Man, that was a lot harder than it had to be. These guys are all sliding around, and it's okay to have a little bit of space, but basically want to pull these guys up. So I'm using these finish nails so that when I take these out after the arch is all cured and I'm ready to remove the supports, I can basically pull these out really easily. They don't have little shanks or ribs on them like roofing nails do, so that these will hopefully just pull right on out much easier. So I'm using this mesh to clog up this gap. And the reason that works, right, is because these are only 1/4 inch holes, and I'm using concrete that's 3/8 aggregate mixed in. So as long as I don't make it too wet, the little rocks that are 3/8 of an inch won't go through here. And as long as it's not too wet, the liquid won't go through, and this will actually contain all the concrete. So that's why I'm using it. It also adds a little bit of structure to it. Wonder if there's an easier way to do this. Well, I guess I got the cheap pair, so I'm sure if I bought the better snippers, this would go quicker, but this is actually pretty quick. Now, if I was doing this all day long like a real construction guy, I would definitely buy the better tool. Now, I think the move is gonna be to flip up the edges and nail it into this guy so it really stays, then nail this guy down to here. I'm actually just gonna do that because the concrete can have this in it and that's fine. I just don't want it to pull this way. I want to stop it from pulling out. Glad this arch is strong. That would kind of suck if I fell from here. Well, here's a trick. I'm gonna move that. Look at that. Oh, my nail wasn't even in that great. So before I get this rebar on here, I'm gonna take a design risk. I was kind of contemplating it, whether I was gonna do it or not, but I'm gonna do it. And there is a risk that it doesn't come out exactly how I'm imagining it to, but we're gonna do it anyways. This is gonna be a unique cigar cellar anyways. Let's just go ahead and make this thing, you know, a crazy unique thing. If it turns out to be Frankenstein, I'm gonna have to live with it, but we were all a part of it, so it'll work out. So I wanted to show you guys kind of my pre-work here. So I have some gaps in my forms, but I have this mesh that is just there to catch the very first stuff of concrete. And the same with this gap here going down. I'm gonna call it for lunch and I'll be back at it a little later today. So I'm not sure if I want to show everybody this, but this is the creative thing that I'm gonna do. So basically I pulled some chain link fence out, and the idea is when I put the black tarp vapor barrier over this and then I pour concrete on top of that, the vapor barrier there will basically indent into each of these chain link fence squares, and I'm hoping to get some sort of armadillo looking pattern, and I'm hoping the way the concrete will also keep this down. So it's something we're just gonna have to see if it turns out like that. Now here, see, that's a little wider. Might have to adjust this a little bit, but all in all, I'm excited to see how this turns out. So that's the end of day 16, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't underestimate how long this took. There was a lot of little fine-tuning spots I needed to get done. Anyways, I still need the pour tomorrow on day 17. So I'm gonna do an absolute monster day for day 17, but here's where I ended up. I got a special barrier on there to help me get out the wood. I might end up posting 2 day 17 videos instead of just one. It's just too much stuff to get into one video. And I haven't finished my rebar rib. It took me a little longer to get that top on, but I have decided to go ahead and do all my cuts for the rebar. So wish me luck for day 17. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish out the day just by doing some busy work and cutting all my rebar to length. All right, peace.